Hi, welcome back to Drawing with David Zobel again. So what we're going to look at is just a different shape with drawing a monster. This time we're going to look at circles and we're going to look at some extra added details with that as well. So let's get this going here. So the first thing that we're going to look at is shape. So in this case, we're going to kind of draw a circular monster here. So I have my circle shape. Let's see. I want to draw my feet. So I'm going to kind of put where my feet are going to go. And I'm going to draw some different feet. So I'm just drawing kind of some lines for that to start. We're going to draw my hands. Now, with my hands are going to be a little bit different. My hands are going to be, or my arms are going to be bent like this. So drawing this little extra piece over top is really important. So it's not like that, right? We want to show that fold that's there in the arm. So if you draw that extra piece, it looks like that arm really has some dimension to it. So we're going to draw this one. If it's bending and waving, we're going to draw this one that's over top. Now looking at this, I feel like I have a very lopsided circle. So I'm going to try to draw that circle again. Oh, that's better. Okay, and in fact down here, maybe I'm deciding, you know what? Here's going to be my middle. Maybe my feet should kind of come out a little bit more. I'm going to draw this really big kind of smile that's there. And I'm going to do a shape with the eye that I tend to do a lot. It's like a lid, right? So an eyelid. But again, because we talked about in the last one, I like to make these things kind of squishy. We're going to make an eyelid that kind of looks like that. So you may say, whoa, what did you do? Right? So let's undo that. Actually, we're just going to take that off and go to a new layer here. So what you're really drawing is, instead of drawing a straight line like this, which you could do, and draw it like that, I'm drawing the shape. Sure, I first start with a curve and then another curve. And they're not all the same. Sometimes they're a little bit different. And then it's there. It almost looks like an acorn, right? And I don't finish the top. I think it gives more dimension if I don't come all the way across there. So I kind of leave that one loose. So as you'll see in my sketch, right, it's kind of open. That's there. And in this case, we're going to draw, I think I want to give him some hair like this. And then maybe, you know what, let's go back. I want this kind of hair, right? I just kind of find that funny. We're going to put maybe some spots up at the top. And I think that's kind of where we're going to go. We're going to draw some really big teeth with a tongue like that. So that's kind of where we're going, this yelly, screamy kind of monster. I don't know, let's give it maybe some ears at the top, right? This is looking kind of funny and goofy, and I love it. Next, with the feet are going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to draw these big feet kind of off to the side. And I'm just going to draw kind of exaggerated side foot. Now, I know no one standing would have feet like this. But, you know, that's okay, because we're just kind of drawing this the way that I want to draw it. And that's it. And you can draw your feet any way that you want. I'm going to show you a couple little tricks to add some details into this. So I know my hands are going to be kind of here, thumb inwards again. Right? So something like that. Now we go from the sketch. We are going to go in here with a different pen, and I'm going to draw this out. Now you can kind of decide how you want to do this. I like to draw the hands first so I know where the circle is going. Sometimes I do the shape and I leave holes for the hands, so let me show you that. So again, since I have this digitally, so I'm drawing in Sketchbook Pro, by the way. It is a free program, but you need to really have a tablet to make this work. You can get a tablet for under $100, but you can draw on a piece of paper just the same using the same technique. So we're going to kind of start here. I know my hands are going to be roughly around this point. Leave a space there, leave a space there. We can kind of finish it out. So I have these kind of holes now for where the hands are going to go. So let's draw those hands right now. So I'm going to go in, right? Draw my thumb, draw my other fingers, connect it back in. Now I know this one is going to kind of bend with another bend. I'm going to connect in my hands. connect that shape. Right, now let's draw these wonderful feet. So I'm going to draw a little thing that's for like the ankle bone. We're going to draw in some toenails. So part of what I'm doing here with the feet, right? You could draw these straight down, but I'm giving this, right? So I go down and then I loop back around and then I make one hump, two hump, and another one. And that's kind of how I draw those out. So I like drawing that back heel part. I think it just gives another dimension to this. So there we go, kind of with the feet. Oops, I forgot to draw my toenails on my other guy here. So we're going to draw those out. Beautiful. Okay, so let's draw this big mouth that's here. And again, you don't have to draw it this way. If you find you don't like this big kind of shouting mouth, I find it funny and interesting. And so here's the trick, right? So for the bottom teeth, we're just going to draw this straight. We're going to draw this tongue going backwards, and then we're going to give it a little dash to show some dimension to it. So the next thing that we are going to do, I'm actually going to turn my paper here because I like to draw straight up and down. And you can do this on your own sketchbook. You can turn it. So I'm going to draw like this, draw my shape, and then we're going to get it back right side up. Draw the underneath shape. And part of this is going to take you some practice to make sure you can kind of get this shape to work. I would just, I have a whole page that I've done just with the eyes, just for that reason. So we're going to draw some ears / horns, whatever we decide they're going to be. And then this kind of like crazy hair, which I enjoy so much. We're going to draw some spots. We're going to fill this part of the eye in. And then to really kind of fill this out, I'm going to zoom in here. And then let's just change the size of this brush. That's it. And we're going to fill this in, right? We're going to fill this in because, well, it's the way, kind of when you're illustrating a mouth like that, that's a really important, some of these kind of filled in spaces may seem, why am I doing this? Or it's not important, but all those little details are really important to what you're doing. Now I'm kind of going quick here. I would generally take a little bit more time. So here we are, almost done. And let's see what that guy looks like. There it is. So it looks kind of crazy and I'm kind of in love with that idea. So now I'm going to go back in with some details because I feel like it needs it. We're going to add in some lines here, right, to show like the hair. We're going to add in some details over here on this hair. Maybe on the horns, we do some of this, right? So this is called hatching. So if you do lines like this, that's hatching. And if you cross over top of them, right, it's called cross hatching. Those of you who've seen comics, you'll see a lot of cross hatching as far as a lot of details. When comic book artists are drawing, they're maybe doing something like this and they'll come back over like this. They may even do another hatch and it just creates detail. And so we're going to do the same thing over here. Let's give some lines over here. Little bit in the hands. Show that for the elbow. Show that for the palm. Right, and you can see now we have some details that are going on here for this. Right, maybe some toes. Maybe sometimes I like to draw like little hair marks, like as if these toes are kind of hairy. Right, so we could draw that on the elbows too if we wanted to. Right, just some little added details that we can go into drawing the monster. So that's the basic drawing of this. Now I could expand this on many different ways. 2 eyes. So let's go ahead and we're going to use the eraser here, and I'm going to erase kind of right in here where I did these eyes. Oh no, see you later, eyes. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw. We could draw little eyes. Oops, those weren't little. We can draw some little eyes that are here, like this, right? Maybe make a nose, right? And all of a sudden your monster completely changes. Let's add some eyebrows. Ooh, now he's angry. You know, let's draw him on the side here. All of a sudden your monster completely changes based upon some of these little added details. So what if we added 2 eyes, right? So what if we did 2 eyes like this, right? That changes the look also. So these little things can be done to your monster to really kind of give them some character. So that's the idea of doing these monsters, is there's no right or wrong, right? There's no way that you do it versus what I do it. No one's better, no one's right or wrong. It's all just kind of fun in how you do it and kind of what kind of character you're doing. So I hope you had fun with today's monster, drawing it with the circles and other things. We'll look at other shapes later on. But for right now, you have the previous video and this one, and we've done some pretty cool stuff with monsters. I hope you enjoy.